Hi there and welcome back to my channel. This is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video we're discussing The Drowning Kind, written by Jennifer McMahon. Here's the book. It's a Gothic horror. It's so atmospheric. The atmosphere in this book is so well done. It's so chilling, it's gripping. The characters are so well described, so well created. The plot is creepy. And Jennifer McMahon is becoming one of my authors that I'm hooked on. This is the second book I've read from this author, and I'm loving the book so far. And I want to read all her books, past, present and future. So first off, this book does have some scenes, some things that happen that may challenge some readers, so do keep that in mind. The book is told in past and present timelines. Not my favourite way of storytelling, but I understand why the author's done that, because there are things in the past that are told and given to us slowly that impact the present timeline. So there's a reason for that, but in my view, there's always a way that an author can do that without having separate past and present timelines. But it's interesting because the past timeline in this book for me is the most engaging, and that's because of just the way it's written and the main character, Ethel, in the past timeline. Ethel reminds me of the mother in Leave It to Beaver of June Cleaver, and the way it's written, the past timeline, through Ethel's eyes, everything's so sunny and vibrant and joyful. She's like this character that's so bubbly, and she loves doing things for people, and she loves cooking, and she loves sewing and creating things, and she loves her people in the area, her friends in the area, and even her husband Will. He's also very sunny and vibrant and happy and carefree. So they just remind me of that style of character of June Cleaver, and the way they see the world as well reminds me of that. And what makes this past timeline so gripping and chilling is when things start to happen. So when the Gothic horror elements start to happen, the suspense builds up, the atmosphere changes a little bit. It's a direct contrast to how they see the world, how they interact with the world. And that's what makes it so chilling. Because we have this sunny, vibrant, atmosphere at the very start of their timeline. Then it's slowly changing as things start to happen. And we see that interact and see that impact their personalities and their view on the world. And that makes it so chilling as well. But in the present storyline, our main character is Jax. Jax is a therapist. And at the very start, she's trying to avoid her sister. Her sister, we understand, is a little bit manic, a little bit bipolar possibly. And Jax doesn't know how to cope with that all the time. So in this book, at the very start, in the present timeline, she's trying to avoid phone calls from her sister. What happens is then she's told that her sister is found dead at her home. And she's found drowned in a pool. And this pool at the house is fed by a natural spring. And the water is, a little bit metallic, a little bit brackish, I think. And, it's not the cleanest water, but the pool was made bigger than its natural size by the previous owners of the house. And the previous owners of the house are Jax's great-grandparents. What makes this more chilling and more sinister is not the first drowning at the house. Jax's aunt also drowned at the house when she was a child. And that's Jax's mother's sister in the book. So there's two family drownings at this house in the same pool. That makes it more chilling and sinister. Also, when Jack finds out and Jack returns back to the home, just to sort out things after her sister's death, she starts recalling different things from her own childhood. Jax and her sister used to play in the pool. Then they used to sneak down there at night. They weren't meant to, but they used to go down there at night. And Jack starts to recall things she tried to block from her childhood. She recalls seeing things in the water, hearing things as well. At one time she thought she saw a person in the water, a young girl. And that just starts to bring that atmosphere, that Gothic atmosphere, into the book. Also, things in the house start happening. We have tappings and scratchings on walls. We have different things in the house happening. Light bulbs going missing, almost being stolen, and just other sounds and other senses in the house happening, which adds all to the Gothic atmosphere. And that's really well done in the present storyline. The pool itself in this book is almost like a character. It permeates every scene in this book. Even when scenes aren't directly interacting with the pool, characters are thinking about it, they're talking about it. When you're reading it, you think about this pool all the time. It's just overshadowing every scene in this story. It's very powerful in this book. That just adds to the atmosphere. And the pool just feels so sinister and so chilling. When Jax is at the house and she talks to people in the area, their conversations often mention the pool. They mention the pool's cursed. This pool grants wishes, but it always takes things as well. There's always a cost. That's a theme that runs through this book. This pool, even though it's just a pool of water and you'd think it wouldn't be sinister in itself, it's very chilling, very gripping. It is another character in this book. This story is so well told, so well created. It's not only Gothic horror, it's a mystery as well. We have the horror elements, we have all the atmosphere, we have that pool that feels so sinister, we have the past storyline that becomes sinister and chilling as it goes on as well. But then we have a mystery, because Jax is trying to solve the mystery about the house, about the pool itself, dive into the past and find out more about the past, because in this book there's secrets running all the way through, all these family secrets where past generations wouldn't talk about the history of the house, the history of the pool. But Jax is trying to unravel all that. And she finds out that her sister Lexi did discover all the history of the pool. And Jax is wondering if that's the reason why Lexi is now dead. Then the authors created all these people in the book. People that were friends of Jax when she was younger, that she knew in her younger years, and other people in the town as well. Can they all be trusted? Because throughout this book, there are moments when they feel a bit sinister themselves. And did they have something to do with Lexi's death? And Jax is thinking that as the book goes on, and she's trying to solve that, trying to work through that. That just adds to the whole atmosphere of this story. Because in this book, we have this pool that just feels so sinister and so chilling. Then we have other people in the story as well that add to that. So where can Jax turn to? Who can she trust in this book? Jax is a very engaging character. She's engaging because she's so certain about everything. It's that certainty that leads her character and us, the reader, through different rabbit trails in this book. And then, as the book progresses, that certainty starts to waver a little bit. She's unsure about things, and she's learning more things about history of the house, about people in the area, also about her family as well. And that just chips away at her certainty. She starts to doubt different things as well. And we're taken along that ride with Jax. And that makes it so powerful because we see this character question things. We see how she reacts with the house, how she reacts with the atmosphere in the house, and the pool itself, how she reacts with that and interacts with that as well. So as a character, she really drives the atmosphere and the chilling moments in this book. Ethel, who's from the past storyline in this book, she's the best character in the book. She's so well described, so well told, and that whole contrast between Ethel at the start, almost feeling like June Cleaver. I mean, everything's so sunny, vibrant. She loves the world, she loves life. You know, she does everything for everybody. She pleases everybody. She's like a perfect person in the book. Then she just wants something. She wants to have a child, and she's struggling to do that. And she thinks something's wrong, that she can't have children. And that drives the whole story from that moment. And then when she gets her wish and she falls pregnant, that's when the atmosphere starts to change a little bit for Ethel. It starts to be more sinister. Then after the birth of her child, it gets more sinister and more chilling. Her character is just brilliant in this book because it's the most change in a character in this story. And it's a character that has all these things happen to her in the book that the character could just fall down and break away into a mess, basically. But she doesn't. She holds strong. That's another part of her character that's so engaging. So Ethel as a character has so many different facets so many paths to her that are really engaging and gripping, and for me, the best character in this book. Diane is Jax's aunt, and Diane hangs around in this story a lot. She lives in the area where the house is, where the pool is, but she is interesting because of the way she acts in the story. She acts in certain ways that make you doubt her motives. Why is she always there? Is she as helpful as she makes out to be? Is she as kind as she makes out to be? Does she have Jax's best interest at heart? And you wonder about Diane through this book. I did anyway, and I wondered if she was behind some of the things that were happening to Jax, some of the things in the house that were happening. So she's written very well. As a character, she feels a little bit creepy herself, a little bit sinister, and that just adds to the whole atmosphere of this book. The Drowning Kind is a great example of Gothic horror. The atmosphere is so chilling and gripping and engaging, especially in the past storyline. I rate this 4 out of 5. The characters are well described, well done. The plot is so well done. Even though I don't like past and present chapters in books so much, I didn't mind it in this book, and I can understand why it was done that way. On my channel, I review many horrors. If you like horrors, check out my channel and subscribe. There's also horror placed on my channel. It should be on your screen now.